After Marvel Rivals' honeymoon phase wore off, a lot of people are saying the game is dying, which is not really true. Marvel Rivals is still fun, until you realize half of the roster is designed to make you quit the game. Every hero's kit has something incredibly strong that makes them feel, well, super. Sure, it might feel strong and fun to play, and I think that's what the dev team has gone for. But dive heroes are unstoppable, supports are unkillable, and things are just glorified punching you. Let me explain why. Spider-Man is a DPS character, having enough damage in his combo to one-shot any backline character. His burst damage isn't the problem, it's his insane mobility. Spider-Man can cross long distances within a second, using his web swing ability to a max of 3 charges, and with a generous charge time of 6 seconds, Spider-Man doesn't need to worry about managing his cooldowns. No worries about using his mobility to get in, or saving it to get out. And he is so fast, if you see him coming, it's already too late to run. If he hits you with just one web, you are a sitting duck waiting to get clipped. His ultimate launches him in the air, doing a big AoE that does 360 damage over time, slows you, gives him an extra 250 bonus health, after a while stuns you. I don't know why they gave him so much. Imagine a new player fighting an experienced Spider-Man, always being one-shot before they could even see him coming. Solution is to make them choose whether using it to close a gap to secure a kill and risking getting killed themselves, or saving their mobility to escape rather than swinging in. So nerfing his web swing from 3 to 2 would work.
Just because of Black Panther doesn't mean that go up a ladder.
Black Panther, a dive DPS who is impossible to kill because of his free dash resets and bonus health on every engage. The real issue, his kit isn't even hard to use. His spears have a massive hitbox, and every time he dashes, he gains bonus health while getting behind you. By the time you turn around, he's already dashed again. He's a nightmare to hit, and even if you land a shot, he's got that extra health buffer that you have to shoot through. And his ult, not only is it a bulky animal stance that deals 150 AoE damage, it gives him another dash reset. So even if he whiffs a dash, that doesn't mean you finally get to kill him. No, it means he gets to kill you.
Hey, old man, give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Solution? Keep his mobility, but nerf is the same. Being hard to hit is bad enough, why give him so much health? Get rid of his bonus health and give him a dash reset when he kills someone. This will keep his mobility while giving him somewhere to get away, but still remain killable.
You're a panda. What are you gonna do, big guy? Sit on me?
Don't tempt me. Now, I'm gonna use this. Ha-ha! You want it? Come get it.
Oh! Fury! Finally!
Iron Fist is a walking hate crime against backline players. Being a hybrid of Brawl and Dive, he has a health and damage to win any 1v1. His Kung Fu kick closes a 12-meter gap on a 10-second cooldown, and his basic attacks, for some ungodly reason, has aimbot and locks back onto a target if they get too far. A healing ability he could use to recover health and gain bonus health. And the worst offender being his dragon defense. Using it gives him immunity to damage and stuns while gaining bonus health if he is hit up to a max of 200. The reason I'm not a fan of this ability, by the way, is that you get punished for trying to defend yourself and for having good aim. And if you manage to stop yourself before giving him bonus health, he could drop his ability whenever he likes, not needing to wait for a timer to run out, making it where he always gets the first hit. The counterplay is to stop shooting him, except he is in your face constantly, pulverizing you with his aimbot. Good luck. Solution, making his dragon defense more punishing. If he absorbs more than 250 damage, he gets stunned, giving an enemy a reason to shoot him and give him bonus health, and a risk to Iron Fist if he gets too greedy with his block. I'm gonna move on to a tank I think is just bad for the game, being Captain America. Let's be real, Captain America is the lamest superhero. Bro's just a guy on steroids with a frisbee. By lore, he should lose to any super soldier who didn't start as a scrawny loser. Captain America is a hyper-mobile tank with 650 health, a sprint, and a 350 health regenerating shield with a bash, a frisbee toss, and of course, a jump from the top turnbuckle. His ultimate gives him 100 bonus health every second, with 100 being the max. Cap is a big fat calculator. He deals decent damage, but he can't really be killed himself. It takes at least 3 players to make a Cap go away. Both supports to keep each other alive, and a DPS to actually get him low enough to run away. And you know how reliable your ranked teammates could be. If I choose to play Invisible Woman and I push him away, he still has 1,000 health to work with. If I manage to go invisible, a good Cap will always win in the backline until you try to go heal your team, because it is worse to lose a healer than it is to lose one tank. Cap just walking towards you is more than enough of distraction to the point where one of your tanks can die and start finding you. Solution? Something simple like a closer to a super jump will make him a lot more killable, like 5 seconds. That way, he is more trackable and can't go over obstacles that much.
Motherfucker, fuck the fucking world, and my new band is called Skill.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
My problem with Dive is that there is abilities in almost every hero's kit that could help them deal with a dive, but in Marvel Rivals 38 character roster, there are 8 dive characters and there is only 1 anti-dive character, that being Namor, and they nerfed him to the ground. They took away his team up with Luna Snow. They gave him slowing squids, which also let him hit his shots easier because he throws projectiles. This was a perfect way of killing dive characters, but in Season 2, they gave him a team up with the Hulk to replace his slowing squid with a damage squid, which isn't bad, but I believe a slowing squid was way better for the character. And you might be saying, "Well, it's a DPS character, so why are you so mad he gets more DPS?" The main issue with the Gamma Squid is it takes a Hulk for the team to win. Which, I don't know if you know this, but Hulk is a bit harder to play than Luna Snow. Apart from being banned every game, not many people, including myself, even know how to play Hulk at a high level. Hulk takes an actual PhD level mastery to play. Meanwhile, Luna Snow, bronze players hit top 500 by accidentally face rolling their keyboards. So more times than not, Namor won't even get his team up, unless you want to risk having a Hulk who looks like he's playing with a steering wheel. The worst part, if the enemy isn't playing dive and you want to play Namor without a team up, he is an F tier character easily, and a C tier character at best with one. I mean, players don't even ban Namor, they just ban Hulk. At a high enough level where players aren't drooling over themselves, players would just shoot Namor squids, making him squidless for half the game and losing half his consistent DPS. It's only with his team up can he have more squids on cooldown, but even then, they still get shot at. So all Spider-Man has to do is ban Namor, and he gets the freedom to terrorize your supports for the rest of the game. It's a miserable experience for a high-ranked guy like myself to deal with a Spider-Man, but imagine how it feels for a casual player that has to hit a Spider-Man moving at the speed of light. But I mean, hey, at least we still have Bucky, am I right?
Ah, look who's here.
That's better.
To be honest with y'all, I think Tank is the most fair role out of the 3. It doesn't feel unfair or overwhelming to play against, apart from Cap. Although the Tank role does in fact suffer from massive issues that we will discuss in a bit, I think Groot is a very overrated character. His main source of damage / sustain is his walls. His ultimate shoots a vine cluster that imprisons all enemies for 3.5 seconds, and he also has a spore bomb, which is just alright. Groot suffers from the same problems most tanks do. If you just shoot at them, they become useless. While this isn't the whole story, this rule extends to almost every tank. Groot, Penny, Thor, and the Thing don't have any abilities that can help them survive a bunch of burst damage or help their team like Strange Shield does. They are very selfish characters, and if you just target them, they just become a ult charge generator. But even this becomes a double-edged sword. You get a lot of ult charge, but so does their supports, which is a whole can of cancer I will discuss in the support section. This rule still extends to tanks like Strange, Hulk, and Venom, because although they do have both the damage and health to stat check you, a simple Punisher Rocket team up annihilates their health bars. This series of events leads to the players only seeing the same 3 tanks frontlining, which after 20 games gets so repetitive, because they will be forced to play anything else. 2 tanks fixes most of this problem, but if I'm playing Strange and my Penny overextends, I keep go and put my shield up for it. But if I overextend and the enemy melts through my shield, bro, Penny's just gonna have to watch me die. And after I'm done, the enemy will just easily overwhelm Penny. And you can replace Penny with any of the other 3 tanks I just talked about. In the case of dive tanks, they are just stat checkers, which isn't inherently a bad thing, it's just annoying. Even with someone with a lot of DPS like the Punisher, Venom just has so much health that hitting every single shot doesn't matter. He will run you over, which then again relies on your support to keep you up, which then makes your front line weak.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god!
Moving on, let's talk about the ugly. I warn you that the DPS characters I'm about to show you should get you permanently banned for even hovering them. Viewer discretion is advised. Hela, Hawkeye, and Black Widow just have this overwhelming amount of malicious aura emitting from them. Just seeing the enemy switching over to one of these characters immediately makes me feel oppressed. Like even if I'm in an 8-game winning streak, all the happiness gets sucked out of me. If I even think about peeking my head so I could have an ounce of fun, I get blasted. Even with bad aim, it only takes one accidental shot from them to turn the whole fight. If I'm playing as a DPS, it's my job to go deal with that Hela. But I'm not much of a dive player, so if I even think about doing Hela, that isn't a mirror match, I get outgunned. Even if I hype myself up to play dive, Hawkeye, Widow just slap me away. And Hela can stun me, headshot me, then turn into a bird and run away. There's just no winning. Every time I see these characters get a buff, it always just pains my soul. Because you could ask any Overwatch streamer about how fun a Widowmaker meta was. They will describe it like it was a concentration camp. With flying heroes, I feel like they just get neglected. They go so high that most of the time you don't even notice them in a team fight. This of course is a double-edged sword, because the enemies might not look at you in a fight, but it's the same case with their supports not healing you. In general, these players, especially Iron Man players, get so angry when you don't heal them after dying and half a nanosecond. Wolverine is the boogeyman to any tank that decides to be meta. With his feral leap, he can kidnap any tank to his backline and shred them with his percent health attacks. When Wolverine was meta, you were never going to see more than 2 tanks. Actually, you rarely saw anyone log in tank. No matter what tank you played, Wolverine could kidnap you through your shields, except if you're bowled by Magneto. Luckily, Wolverine was adjusted so tank players could sleep at night.
Oh, great.
It's the grand finale!
All right, let's do this.
Us against the world! Go, girl!
All right, let's do this.
Your powers are mine!
I am ready to put on a show! A bowl of life!
Now it's time to go over support. I'm not going to spend as much time here because I only have one main issue with this role, and that's its ultimate problem. While I believe having an ultimate that has the strength to survive a Punisher plus Rocket Ult isn't a bad thing, having 6 out of the 8 support heroes having Immortality ult is probably not good for the game. All these support ultimates last at least 8 seconds each, with the longest being a 13-second Cloak and Dagger ult.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Cloak and Dagger is the most broken support in the game. Dagger's basic ability takes no mana off. Her healing bubble is no joke, a slightly worse support ultimate on a 12-second cooldown, and shoots a wall that gives 15% more healing to allies when hit. Cloak has an auto-locking ability on his basic attacks, a ability that is a get out of jail free card, and an ability to shoot a wall that blinds enemies and makes them take 28% more damage. The only thing I really like about this character is both of their wall abilities. I think it's the most fun and, dare I say it, balanced part of the kits. Although there is a counter to Cloak and Dagger's ultimate, which is to kill them during or after casting their ultimates, which immediately stops their ultimates, it's easier said than done. The main counter to this was a Magneto ult, but now they do it so fast they just straight up outrun Magneto. Rocket used to be part of the non-immortality ultimates, just to be changed to one after being overpowered by the other ultimates. So they give his ult 100 bonus health every second up to a max of 150. This was a stupid move by the balance team. While his ult is more balanced than the ultimate like Moon and Snow, since you could actually kill it, I think they missed a huge opportunity here. They could have had made it where you get that 30% damage boost, but instead of getting bonus health, you give enemies you hit a 25% healing reduction and a 50% healing reduction if it's healing from an ultimate, and this effect lasts for 3 seconds. That way, supports still have a reason to heal after using their ults, but still gives the enemy a good shot to kill them. I don't think I could stress this enough, but adding an ability that blocks all healing is just a bad idea. I don't think any character should fully counter another character, because that just kills the fun of the character. In Overwatch, I never wanted to play tank, because if the enemy had an Ana, I just couldn't do anything. Otherwise, I died. And look at the Q times for tank on that game. Still as high as ever, even with the resurgence of players. The balance team needs to balance these characters way better. And I know people think that it's not possible with all the wacky abilities, even though it very much is.
Well, there's 2 things that solve every problem. Money and explosives. I've got an idea!
I mean, how hard is it to drop a patch every day? Just by a small amount. Like if Hela's too strong, nerf her damage by 1, or fire rate by 0.1, until she stops performing so high. Or every week, when they drop new skins, add some balance adjustments. Because I don't want to wait every 2 weeks in a Hela meta to see that they nerf Namor so they could give another buff to Hela. I think something that would help and be a huge slam dunk for the community is if they took surveys asking the players who they think the most annoying or strongest characters are at the moment, so they could tweak them, making at least the majority of the players happy instead of them nerfing based on something like character win rates or stats, like the Dark Path Overwatch took. If they do any of these ideas, it should be the updates every week. I think it would just make the game feel fresh, because the game doesn't drop new content until a new season or halfway through it. I have a few more solutions for some of the characters I have already discussed. For all the tanks without a shield, it's kind of tricky. I can't think of a solid way to fix them without reworking their kits to be better. The only thing that comes to mind is giving them more movement speed, so they are harder targets to hit. And for Strange, refresh his cooldown on his Maelstrom of Madness once he reaches 100. Or if you don't want to give him more DPS, remove the anti-heal. It's just stupid to be punished for doing too much damage. For the one-shot DPS, they could get rid of some of their mobility. Hawkeye movement speed should be slower when drawing his bow, making him more of a sitting duck. For Widow, give her that L3 to focus that Call of Duty has, that way nobody plays her. For Hela, nerfing her fire rate would do wonders. Not only would that give players more time to react to her burst, but it will also do the same for her ultimate, which I think is still very powerful. For Wolverine, making them to where the bigger the target, the faster they get dragged down, so he will have more reason to use it on someone else instead. For the support ultimate problem, it boils down to who has a better support ultimate. I think that could be fixed just by giving support more variety in their ultimate. Again, immortality ultimates aren't bad, it's just every support has it. Adam is a great example. It doesn't feel unfair like Cloak and Dagger because he is easily killable when casting. He can only res in a certain range. He needs to waste all his resources to keep his weakened team alive. The devs could change the current ultimate or just make the future ones more diverse, instead of just picking the longer lasting ultimate. I'm jamming Jeff at the end here because he has a weird case. People mainly play him as a flank DPS instead of a healer, and it works. Jeff not only has an incredible amount of sustain, he also has his hide and seek ability to have the smallest hitbox in the game that also heals him. So he can 1v1 any support just because of his bubble, and even getting the attention of a DPS, he could dive into the ground until you turn around and then just keep attacking you. A simple nerf to this will be putting a 4-second cooldown on his hide and seek ability. That way you could fry him. Also, side note, Salak and Just Ultimate Radius is a little too big, so turn that down a little, bro. Characters just feel so overloaded with their abilities, while others don't. I mean, I feel just so miserable seeing some of these characters, to the point where if it's meta, I'm just gonna go check what Overwatch is doing. Unfair, oppressive heroes can lead to a game's reputation further down to irrelevancy. Just look at Overwatch's GOAT meta. While only being half of the problem with Overwatch's decline, it was a mainstay of the game. Brigitte was meta for a year and you saw her every game whether you liked it or not. A break meta in Marvel Rivals isn't a bad thing since, I mean, that's kinda how the game is right now. If they try to fix this problem by adding more burst damage like Hawkeye, this meta could be worse than Ghosts, spending more time spectating rather than shooting. But here's the real problem nobody's talking about. Marvel Rivals' everybody is overpowered design philosophy is creating a balanced nightmare that will tear the community apart. When every hero has a busted game-changing ability, you get endless arguments about what actually needs to be buffed or nerfed. Spider-Man mains claim he takes incredible skill for minimal value, while support players threaten another strike until he gets nerfed. This constant debate breeds toxicity that spreads beyond the game itself. Content creators make rant videos about how Widow is ruining the experience, and their viewers bring that hatred directly into matches. Most of the time, viewers will agree with their favorite YouTubers and start targeting those players in-game. The game becomes less about skill and more about whether your team throws when somebody insta-locks a character they don't like. When players are already tilted before the match even starts, match quality will crash into the dumpster. Going on a win streak starts feeling meaningless when every game becomes a battle to keep your team's morale up while they are on the edge of throwing the game. Just like what's happening in League of Legends right now. And imagine what happens when Rivals starts adding power creep to every new hero to keep the game feeling fresh. Every game goes through this phase, and our heroes are already ridiculous. The balance will become so broken that the community will rip each other apart over heroes being overshadowed or put on pedestals. Look, I know these balance suggestions aren't perfect, and maybe a little biased, but they're starting points for a healthier game. The developers need to act before we lose what makes Marvel Rivals feel special. The fun of feeling like a superhero without the frustration of feeling helpless against them. Anyways, I could drag this video forever, but it will never be as massive as the low taper fade. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, or else Spider-Man will swing over to your place and web you up tonight.
Tasty.